What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Sitting Courtside with your boy Jerry D.
My name's Dante.
Episode 6, man. We're really Miami LeBroning this thing. Oh, you know what? Bill Russell instead. We'll go Bill Russell instead.
Shout out Bill Russell. Shout out Bill Russell, LeBron, two of the GOATs. Can't go wrong with either.
Yeah, but we're gonna jump right into this thing, man. We got to go with what's been, I guess, has the whole NBA community disgruntled at the moment, all because of a track star. So, I need to make sure that I don't paraphrase too much. I'm actually going to read this verbatim from Noah Lyles, a very, very good 200 meter and 100 meter track star. Actually, his times are pretty impeccable. So look him up. But he did say, I have to watch the NBA Finals, and they have world champion on their head. World champion of what? The United States. So as you can imagine, several NBA players had a lot to say about this. KD, Draymond, Damian Lillard, even Aaron Gordon, who challenged him to a 200-meter race.
He said he would kill him in it too. He said he would blow him out.
Yeah, but again, before we get your answer, Noah Lyles actually runs just sub under 20, 19.7 seconds. It's like Usain Bolt-ish times.
Yeah.
But conversation for another day. How do you feel about his his comments in general? It's stirring the whole pot right now.
I mean, I understand what he's trying to say here. I get it. The NBA is an American basketball league. It's held in the United States. It's not compared to a World Cup or anything like that, or the Olympics or whatever it may be, which is every so few years, whatever it may be. But I mean, looking at, and I'm happy we put these notes together. We kind of put this rundown together. I'm actually happy that you put this in here because this was my biggest talking point. Because it's I get it. Yes, it is held in the United States. It is technically the NBA is an American league, but there are a ton of international players that are involved in the NBA. 120 out of 450 plus players or internationals in over 40 different countries.
And even
there's just so much involved in this. It's not just the NBA isn't just of American players. Especially over the last I'd say 15, 20 years or so, we've kind of all these international players have started to come in and honestly take over. Some of the best players in the league right now are international players: Nikola Jokic, Giannis, Luka, and I can rattle off a few more, but I know at the top of my head those are probably three of the top 5 players in the NBA today. I think, basketball in general, the NBA has started to change where it's more competitive in the sense where it's become the most competitive league in the world, where, you're starting to get more players come over and stuff like that. And, for a lot of people, that's the end goal, is to make it to the NBA, all that stuff. I get where he's coming from, but I also don't agree fully with his statement. That also being said, there's also these other quotes coming out now. Greg Popovich came out with a quote back in 2010. I don't know if you saw that on Twitter. I don't want to paraphrase it too much. I'm going to actually look it up right now so I can be as accurate as possible with this. But Greg Popovich kind of said something in the same. He goes, there are no world champions in the NBA, so anybody that has hold on. That's a different quote. 1 second.
Take your time.
Take your time. You give your thoughts while I find this.
Yeah, no, I definitely seen what you said or what you're about to say from Pop, which basically they didn't play any teams outside of the border of the United States, meaning that they don't own the right or they don't have the right to call themselves world champions. And, I'm basically on the same boat with you. I definitely see both sides of it. No, we don't play any games in different countries, or we don't compete with, the leader, the championship winner of the Spain basketball league or the Australian basketball league. No, we don't.
Right.
Because guess what? We would probably slaughter them anyway. I mean, that's just the fact of the matter where
right.
I think I'm okay with NBA players calling themselves world champions or Super Bowl champions, calling themselves world champions, hockey. You can go down the list.
Right.
I think I'm okay with that because I know that this is the best basketball league in the world, to the point where if we match up in the Olympics and in FIBA like we have in the past, maybe other than this year right now because it is kind of stiff competition, but
sure,
we don't lose.
It can be pretty lopsided. It can be very lopsided. Yeah,
exactly. Like, obviously, we had the 92 Dream Team, 96, 2000 and 2004 Olympic squads are afterthoughts. But
sure.
from that point on, we don't lose in Olympic basketball. You have guys like Carmelo Anthony or Kobe Bryant or LeBron, guys of that ilk that are damn near undefeated in Olympic basketball play, or they have single digit losses. Like, that's just,
There,
it's something ridiculous, like 36 and 0.
there are
We
three
can,
guarantees in life: death, taxes, and America winning the Olympics.
yeah,
It's just the truth. Honestly, it's the truth.
just how it goes, man.
And
But
going off of that Greg Popovich quote I was saying, so I actually was reading the correct part of it, but it was continued, so I wanted to get the full quote. So
yeah,
Greg Popovich, this was back in 2010, I believe. Yeah, 2010. So he said, there are no world champions in the NBA, so anybody that has the flag up that says world champions is not correct. It's not appropriate. The world champions, I believe, are the Spanish team right now. This was referring to Olympics, whatever was going on in
yeah.
2010. USA is the Olympic champion. The Lakers are the NBA champion. And then he went on to say, it doesn't make sense for an NBA team to call themselves world champions. I don't remember anybody playing anybody outside our borders to get that tag. Isn't that true? I keep waiting for somebody to tell me I've missed something. So that was his perspective on it now. And honestly, like, I never really put too much thought into something like this before the Noah Lyles came out and started saying this. Because I feel like, I agree with you. I feel like when you're competing in the best basketball league in the world, which that's what the NBA is. Everybody knows what the NBA is. Like I said, people strive to make it to the NBA, to make it on the biggest platform. You should have the right to call yourself whatever you want to call yourself. NBA champion, world champion. At the end of the day, you're a champion of the best league in the sport. And I'm not going to sit here and disagree with one of the greatest coaches of all time, Greg Popovich. I have the utmost respect for him. I love him. I think he's amazing. It's like I get both sides. I get both sides of the coin here. I really do.
Yeah.
But it's just, to me, I don't really think it makes much of a difference. I don't think it should be that big of a deal, to be completely honest with you.
It's not, but what made it that big of a deal was Noah Lyles' tone of voice, right? Like,
he was very sarcastic about it, and he was like
super
of what?
sarcastic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And as an NBA player, with all due respect, I kind of think Noah Lyles could be clout chasing a little bit, or just reaching just a tad, because I really do feel like the fact that track and field isn't something that we talk about on a daily basis,
I'll be honest with you, I never heard of him before this, and that's no disrespect. I'm not trying to no disrespect at all, and never heard of him before this.
I get it. You're being honest.
Yeah,
I like track and field. I did track in high school, kind of kept up with it since. So I know who Noah Lyles is, and that's why I know about the times. And he's a 6-time world champion gold medalist. And if I could stand corrected, I might be wrong, but I think he won a bronze medal in the 2020 Tokyo Olympics or something like that. The dude is nice. He's probably the fastest man in the world right now. That's what he is. He has the credibility. It's not like he's some scrub saying it.
Right,
but
exactly.
When you're trying to contend with the popularity and, take a jab at NBA champions that call themselves world champions, I kind of do feel like it's a stick at every NBA champion that we've ever seen to some degree. Because I feel like the Michael Jordans of the world, LeBron, Kobe, Tim Duncan, Shaq, we're talking about all-time greats that are saying that we're world champions, baby. This is us. So
that's a battle you're not going to win. It's a battle you're not going to win, unfortunately.
Again, I'm with you. I do understand where he's coming from. And hell, I even agree with them to some degree that no game was played outside of the borders of the United States. So how are we the world champs? But when, like you mentioned it, right? The NBA essentially is a culmination of all these players in the world that have goals to make it to the National Basketball Association. It's not our fault or the NBA's fault if they can't incorporate all these 70 plus countries and, X amount of players that are trying to get into the league. No, everybody wants to come to the States to make millions of dollars to be really freaking good at basketball in America. And that's all I got to say on it.
Yeah, no, I think that's really all there needs to be said. And like I mentioned, like the NBA is built up right now of some of the best players in the world, and a good amount of those players on our top 5, top 10 lists are international players, and it just kind of just shows you like where the NBA stands as an overall league in the world and why players want to come over here. So I think in this case we agree here. I think we're on the same page.
I will say, though, just as a closing thought to kind of bolster Noah Lyles and the rest of the people that are more on that side of the
absolutely
this argument,
mm-hmm.
I do believe that track stars or Olympians or, any other sport that doesn't have the credibility or the notoriety that a basketball or a soccer or a baseball have, like, we see you. We know y'all nice. Simone Biles winning, Olympic gold again in her return.
One of the greatest.
I give y'all flowers. Y'all deserve it. Y'all are definitely world champs, but let's not try to dig on the other guys, despite how you may feel about it, especially in a sarcastic tone. Come on, dog. That's my only issue. Just the tone of voice. That's it.
I'm with you on that one.
All right. Moving on to maybe a little less of a controversial topic. Just, we've heard a lot of nothing coming from James Harden and Damian Lillard on the trading fronts of, is Harden going to be a Clipper? Is Dame going to be in Miami? Well, the last thing that I've seen about James Harden was him talking about his wine on the boardroom.
Hey, he sold a lot of it.
Yeah, he did. Rightfully so.
A shit ton of it, yeah.
And for Damian Lillard, the only thing I've seen recently is him with my boy Mark Spears, who I got to meet in All-Star Weekend. Real cool guy.
Shout out, Mark.
Him saying that he declines to talk about Portland Trail Blazers in any bad light. He has the utmost respect for him, yada, yada, yada. Nothing's happening. Nobody's been traded yet. Free agents are being held up. Mm-hmm. Talk to me.
I just thought I wanted to point out that Damian Lillard interview because I thought it was so funny. Because the one quote I saw was him saying, like, did you put in a trade request? How true is that? This and that. And he said, that is true. I did put in a trade request, but I don't want to answer any questions about the Blazers. And everybody was like, what questions do you think you were going to be asked this entire interview? You think he was going to ask you about your rap career, your upcoming album, or something like that? Like, no, people want to know. People want to know the details. People want to know the juice. Everyone wants to get, where you are right now, what's going on. It is interesting, and it's very fascinating how when players are in this position when they have trade requests and there's kind of a standstill of how much that holds up the rest of the market and free agency. Obviously, a lot of free agency is over, like big names have been signed, this and that, yada, yada. But there's still a good amount of players that aren't on teams right now that, Miami Heat, Portland Trail Blazers, Sixers, Clippers, whoever it may be, they're waiting because they want to know where to put their money, how they can spend it and such. Yep. Because they don't know if they're going to be bringing in a max player, if they have to trade this contract, that contract, whatever it may be. It's very. I don't know when either guy is going to get traded. If either guy gets traded, we've talked about this numerous times in the past. Like James Harden has no leverage. If he doesn't show up, he doesn't play. The Sixers can hold out his contract, so he can't go anywhere else. Damian Lillard seems like a guy that, if he doesn't get traded, is loyal enough and is a big enough professional to still show up to Portland and compete and play. It's just a matter of whether is Miami going to make an offer to Portland that's going to be like, okay, let's get this thing over with. No bad blood. Let's send you where you want to go. Let's get a decent package in return. And same thing for the Sixers, and we'll say the Clippers in this case because that's the only team that we're hearing.
You know what? Let me just ask the general question then. Since there is no static, since there is nothing that's going to come up probably within the rest of this week or the month, for all we know of August, and nothing's going to happen, who do you think gets moved first?
Lillard. Yeah, I don't really have to think too much about that one. I just think Lillard's more likely because I see the relationship with, the Sixers owner, Daryl Morey, and James Harden. Like, I think that's just a straight up standoff. I think that neither one of those guys wants to budge. I think Daryl wants to keep Harden around because he said, like, if we're not going to get anyone in return that keeps us competitive and makes us a championship team, I don't want to do it. And James Harden makes them a borderline championship contending team. I mean, he was the assist leader last year. He can give you 30 and 10 any night if he wants to. And he played next to the MVP. We all know how good those two are together. On the other side, Damian Lillard, there's no bad blood with him in the organization. He's given them everything he's had. The organization, you can say has failed to, put great talent around him to get to the point where they can win championships. Obviously, they had some roadblocks. They've had to deal with the Warriors dynasty and all that stuff. I get it. But I feel like there's more of a respect thing there where the Portland Trailblazers will want to respect Lillard's wish and want to, send him to the right team. The only thing I think that's holding that up is the trade return. Maybe it's not even what Miami's offering. Maybe they're just trying to get a third team involved so they can move some more pieces around. Like, Tyler Hero obviously is the biggest name involved in this and thrown in the mix. But like we talk about how many guards they have. They probably don't want Tyler Hero. They have no room for him. So they probably get another team in there, get more young guys, get more picks, whatever it may be. I think that's really the biggest thing holding up everything and not, just a bad relationship. And I think that's something that can get resolved much quicker than what's going on in Philly.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I think Damian Lillard is definitely the obvious reason. Being a general manager and Daryl Morey and kind of I guess essentially lying to James Harden as he's claiming, which I do frankly believe.
I do believe it as well. I do. Yeah.
I don't think it'll just be something he spews out of nowhere. And then obviously the NBPA is trying to appeal the $100,000 fine for Harden, but that situation in Philadelphia does seem a lot more dysfunctional than what we are seeing in Portland. Right. Despite Dame declining to respond to anything about the Trailblazers or the trade requests or whatever, I don't even really see the point in taking the interview if you weren't going to answer those questions, honestly. But,
I didn't see the point of it, but so be it.
It's really a no-brainer, though. Damian Lillard is definitely the one that I think will go about it the professional way. I think could suit up for the Trailblazers this season, even if it's not something that it could be a matter of like what we saw from Anthony Davis, like how I mentioned a few episodes ago.
Right.
Maybe plays about 15 to 25 minutes a night or something. Not really going to be Dame time in Portland while he's actually playing. It's more like, get me on a plane time. I want to go to Miami and, start chilling with Jimmy Butler, start getting my chemistry right. So it is a big hindrance for both parties for sure, but Dame is definitely the easy answer. But before we do close out the segment, the other question I think is more just from a personal standpoint, just for you. Who would you rather see be moved between the two?
I think I'm going to say Damian Lillard again. And the reason why I say Damian Lillard is I love Damian Lillard. I think he's one of the best players in the NBA. I think he's a super professional. I think he's someone that is deserving to win a ring. It's unfortunate that, he hasn't gotten the chance to win one in Portland. Like I said, some of the teams he's been on just weren't good enough to compete. They've made it to the Western Conference Finals before, but again, they got stuck. They had to deal with the Warriors, and I think that was the year that they had DeMarcus Cousins or some shit like that. There's been a lot of roadblocks, and it would have been awesome seeing Damian Lillard bring a championship to Portland because he's, a guy that's always said he wants to bring a championship to the organization that drafted him and this and that, and I love that. And I think he's super, super talented. One of the best guards of our generation, scoring wise and everything like that. And I'd like to see him succeed, whether it's Portland or anywhere else. James Harden, not so much. I'll be honest with you, no. I say no disrespect, but I've never been a huge James Harden fan. The guy's talented as all hell. He's going to go down as one of the best scorers ever. I've just never been I've never been a super big fan of his game and just kind of how he carries himself. I mean, again, he has the track record of, franchises, trades, this and that. And whether it's his fault or organizations, that's another argument conversation. But I like the way Damian Lillard carries himself more than Harden. I would like to see Lillard win more than James Harden.
I could understand that argument really because Damian Lillard probably is the more likable player amongst the organization. Obviously, being stable
I agree. Mm-hmm.
Rather than being, demand a trade every 2 years or so at this point.
And again, things get said behind the scenes, like in this case here with him and Murray. Like that's a whole nother thing. And I'm not trying to make it sound like it's always his fault. It's not,
get it.
But I think I really like Damian. He's always been a guy that I've just had a respect for. I've always liked the way he played, the way he carries his team, even when he's not given the best talent around him. I would like to see him, even if it's Miami. Like that fucking sucks because like obviously the Celtics and Miami Heat have the little 4-year rivalry going on here, where it's like every single year they're meeting off in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
That definitely makes life a little bit harder for them. But I would like to see him go to a winning franchise like that.
I mean, honestly, just for the sake of, I know this ain't like First Take or some debate show, but for the sake of being different, I'm gonna go James Harden.
All right, Stephen A.
I could, yeah, I gotta have the Stephen A. hand. Like, I could just see that if you take James Harden and put him with Los Angeles, then it's box office. It looks good on paper, and that could be your favorites from day one. Like, seriously though, it does make sense though. Like, James Harden has been dealt, I guess, an odd hand. I can't even say a bad hand for the last 3-4 seasons because he's made himself swap teams for whatever reason. But when it comes down to Houston, when he forced his way out of there, did you really expect him to stay when they gave him John Wall and other pieces that aren't really even relevant? It was a terrible team. It's a bad situation. Hey, I've been in Houston for the last 8 years or so, and he has the same problem that Damian Lillard had. We were not better than the Warriors. And the Rockets had the best shot to beat them, but they unraveled. Injuries or so, or personalities.
Missed 27 straight threes or whatever it was.
Yeah, some historic letdown that you had to just pull the plug on it. I don't blame Harden for getting out of Houston. He gets to Brooklyn. Damn, that's the best team offensively that we probably ever seen. 3 all-time great offensive talents. Damn, I think Kyrie's a little bit of diva, and KD could be too. You know what? Let me get out of here. Like, it's you got to give it time to develop, and I think we always shed light on the negative aspects of what Harden did. But he's kind of smart for getting out of each situation every time because he thinks it's not really meant for him to win. And guess what? It's his career. He has all the money. All I want now is a championship. So in this case, I do agree with you for the most part, but I don't mind seeing Harden get one because a championship for his resume probably means a lot more on his than Damian Lillard's, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, I agree with that because if you think about it, like James Harden, it's considered one of the best 2 guards of all time, right? You have your Kobe's, your D Wade's, your Allen Iversons,
Michael Jordan.
Yeah, besides Michael Jordan, of course. I'm talking below Michael Jordan. A ring for James Harden. I mean, Allen Iverson's one of my favorite players of all time. But you can probably make a fair argument that James Harden goes slightly ahead of him at that point because he has a ring, right?
I hate to be that guy, but I just don't look at AI as a 2 guard. I'm not.
Okay, so then we can. That's another argument, sure. But like, and I'm just thinking of the grand scheme of things, right? Like,
I got you.
For James Harden to win a ring, that puts him up his position. That bumps him up a few spots for all-time 2 guards, whatever it may be. Damian Lillard, I think that definitely does. Obviously, wins a ring, adding to his resume.
Sure.
I think that does great things for him. But legacy-wise, I think it does boost and bolsters James Harden a little bit more. So I agree with you there.
Well,
that's true.
Plus, you got to think like a championship for a resume that has averaged over 30 3 or 4 different times,
right?
Along with over 7 to 8 assists, along with over 7 to 8 rebounds every season as being the guy in Houston. Not saying that Dame wasn't the guy in Portland, but it's hard for me to really remember relevant Portland teams that actually made deep runs. They've had fun teams with Dame, LaMarcus Aldridge, Nick Batum, Wesley Matthews, CJ McCollum. He's played with a lot of like good to mid-tier stars, right? Guys that are like, damn, these guys are nice. But James Harden has been the guy taking his team to Western Conference Finals and stuff. So it's like levels to it. All time, James Harden's going to finish higher on the list than Dame.
If they both retired without rings, and you think some of the greatest players to never win a ring, obviously those 2 names are going to get brought up. But James Harden's name is probably going to be higher on that list than Damian Lillard.
For sure. Yeah. That's why getting a championship, though, will just solidify that, I'm a top 4 2 guard of all time. If the conversation is MJ, Kobe, Wade, you can slide Clyde Drexler aside and put me there instead. That's probably what we're talking about.
Yeah, no, I think that's a very fair argument to make, Jerry. Very fair.
But sticking on the topic of guards here, Bleacher Report released their top 15.
Yes, they did.
I don't really feel like I need to, they'll pop up on screen. We'll have the list right here, hopefully somewhere for you. Yep. But I'll read the top 5 out for you just in case y'all are a little illiterate. At number 1, we got Luka Doncic, Steph Curry at 2, D Book at 3, SGA climbing into the top 4,
I like it.
rounded
Love
out
it.
by Damian Lillard at 5.
I look at this list and it just amazes me of how much talent there is, because like it's hard, like it's so hard to argue or dispute the top 5 you have here now, like Luka, Steph, D Book, Shai, and Damian. I mean, for sure those are like top 5 guys, but then you're leaving off guys like, I know he's young, but you know how much I love Anthony Edwards. I think after this year maybe he's going to take that leap. Then you got guys like John Morant, who, you know, obviously when he's healthy and he's on the floor, he has the top 5 potential, right? He's shown flashes that he can be top 5. Then you have James Harden, who we just talked about, led the league in assists last year, a guy that can give you 20, 25, 30 points a night to go along with 10 assists. Kyrie Irving, one of the most gifted offensive scorers the league has ever seen. Trae Young, who just a few years ago, averaged like 27 and 10 or something like that.
Yep.
It's crazy. And Bradley Beal at number 15 averaged 30 a few years ago. It's crazy. It's insane how much talent there is.
And you know, a part of obviously the list looks the way it does, primarily because of injuries or like missed time, or just obviously like Kyrie being
the court stuff.
Yeah. Like when I look at this list, especially the bottom 5 guys, Ja, James Harden, Kyrie, Trae, Tyrese, and Brad, like, with all due respect, not even just being biased here, but LaMelo Ball, and a healthy LaMelo Ball could probably make his way into this top 15. You know, like, we could put him over a guy like Tyrese Halliburton.
If he has a full healthy year, he might be able to crack the top 10, to be honest with you.
Exactly. Or even a guy like Jalen Brunson, who had a great season last year.
And also was leading the Knicks in the playoffs last year. Yeah, absolutely.
It's a stiff list. It's a very stiff list.
It's hard. And I think it just kind of like attests to how much talent there is in the NBA, because there's so much talent for any of these lists, whether it's guards, forwards, whatever it may be. It's subjective. There's always going to be guys like, oh, how could you leave this guy off the top 5? Well, look at the guys in the top 5. Those guys are really fucking good. Like, yeah, you can make an argument for the other guys from 6 to 10, but it's like, you can make an argument, a fair argument for a lot of these guys as to why they can be higher on this list. And that's like no knock to any of them. It just tells you how much talent there is in the league. And these lists are always fluctuating too. Like 1 month into the season, like the top 10 could be scattered all over the place. And by the end, and going into next season, a year from now, when we're still doing this, because you know damn well we will be, this top 15 list is going to be looking so much different. The guys that are top 5 might be bought. Not saying, you know, not anything crazy like that, but, you know, the top 5 guys could be 5 slots lower. There could be guys that we aren't even mentioning that could be creeping up to the top 15, top 10. That's just how it works. That's how it is.
Good the league is, though. You know, especially at guard, we have a lot of different guys that just come in and have to be the guy for their team, or the setup man, or in today's NBA,
they're supposed to be the leaders. They're the leaders. Yeah.
You have to be a 20-point scorer that is able to take my team to the promised land and just be a great leader. So, you know, you mentioned top 5 a lot. Hell, I read out the top 5 of this list. Give me your personal top 5 from what we just read for the top 15.
Okay. So I'm going to give you my top 5. I'm talking about like when they're healthy. I'm not thinking about anything off the court. I'm thinking when they're on the floor, when they're healthy.
So no asterisks. No asterisks.
No asterisks. No asterisks. Just straight up talent, top 5 list. I mean, I think the top 3 is pretty good. I think, honestly, I would put Steph Curry at number 1. I just think Luka, don't get me wrong, he's a unit on offense. He can do almost everything. But Steph Curry, man, it's hard for me to put anyone above him still at his age, at 35 years old. He is just a true leader. He is the reason why the Warriors are the Warriors. He just has always been that staple. He's just always been like guaranteed, like you have him on your team, you're gonna be good. So I want to move that around. I'm gonna do Steph 1, Luka 2, Devin Booker 3. At 4, I'm going to put Damian Lillard, because when he's healthy, I mean, the guy's just as good of a scorer as anyone. You know what I mean? Like, no disrespect to Shai Gilgeous, he averaged over 30 last year, and he is on the come up. Like, he is going to be a star if he's not already. But I got to give my respect to Damian Lillard. I love that guy. I think he still is in that upper echelon. And number 5 is tricky. I want to give Shea that respect. I want to put him there. I'm not going to put Anthony Edwards there. I think he's still too young. Jamal Murray just won a chip, but I don't know if I can put him top 5. As crazy as it sounds, I'm honestly considering putting someone like Kyrie Irving at number 5. And I know he's number 12, but
I don't think that's crazy.
Some people might disagree with me, but I'm going to put Kyrie Irving at number 5. We've talked about this, Jerry. Like, take away all the locker room, the off the court, this and that. There is not that many basketball players, not many guards that are as talented or more talented than Kyrie Irving. He is a wizard with the ball. He has one of the best, if not the best, handles of all time. Stop and go, finishing under the basket, shooting, clutch, lights out, showtime. There's not many guys better than Kyrie Irving, and you could probably make a fair argument that he's even higher than 5. Obviously, he's 12 on this list because we're considering all the other things I just mentioned, right? But on the court, talent-wise, man, it's hard for me to put many people above Kyrie. So I'm putting him at 5.
I'm not mad at that. Obviously, along with the injuries that he sustained, where he did miss some time when he got to Dallas and stuff, that's probably why he is where he was a late season acquisition for the team. So I get why he's at 12. And I love the fact that you pulled him all the way up to 5. That doesn't bother me. Being a Kyrie stan, I guess to some degree, I am 100% okay with that. But, my top 5, he actually wouldn't be in it, which maybe sounds a little contradicting a little bit, but I mean, let's just roll through it.
Let's see what you got.
I would keep Luka at 1.
Okay.
Only because, I tell you all the time, the taller you are in this game, the easier it is. The fact that he is listed as a point guard now at 6'8", and apparently he's in shape now after he's killing in the FIBA World Cup for Slovenia.
He is killing it. Yeah, he is killing it.
I'm cool with having my Luka at 1. Steph, I think that's kind of easy number 2. I wish I could have like a 2A and 2B because I just would put Kyrie and maybe even a 2C. So I put Kyrie and Dame like all on the same tier.
Yeah.
But I'll do Steph because of, obviously availability, a recent championship about a year ago now. So cool. D-Book, same thing. I'm going to keep the top 3. D-Book is probably the best 2 guard in the league. As I said in the last episode, I think he's the key for Phoenix. So he needs to be the best player for him. Even if you still do have Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal on your squad, he needs to be the guy. So
absolutely.
At 4 is where I'm going to shake it up a bit. I'm going to go Ja Morant.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
It's kind of weird to not have him in the top 5 to me, because this is a guy that I think out of all the guys on this list, at least in this top, well, no, I could say in the list in general, maybe outside of Trae Young and James Harden, maybe is the best facilitator on this list.
I like that.
I think we're talking about a guy that does what you want from your point guard today, which is just score in bunches. All of those guys on this list do that. But he's a guy that can get you 10 assists a night, along with the James Hardens and the Trae Youngs in the league. And his team was also the 1 seed for a little bit. Teetered around to the 2 to 3 all season long last year. So Ja Morant is the heart and soul of that Memphis Grizzlies squad. And they go as far as he takes them, just like the case with Steph Curry, just like the case with Luka Doncic. But I think that's kind of a no-brainer for me to have him in my top 5. So definitely going to have him at number 4 with even the potential to move past Devin Booker, because Ja might mean more to his team than Booker means to his.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But the suspension and all that, I know we're not playing, we have the no asterisks on, but I'm going to have Ja at 4 and 5. I'll stay the same. I would do Damian Lillard there. Mainly for the fact that you waited long enough. I'm also putting that because I assume that he's going to be in Miami at some point throughout this season.
That's fair.
That he'll actually have something to play for, and the Heat will look a lot better with him on their roster along with Jimmy Butler and Bam. So I think that could be one of those hidden pieces that, damn, maybe Jimmy could win a ring, despite what I said about him last episode not being able to. So
Yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into it. But no, I'm actually very happy you put John Morant on your top 5 because that's who I was considering. I was between Shea, Kyrie, and John Morant. I'm John Morant on the floor. He is one of the most exciting players in the league. You can say like the second coming of D Rose, even. And now his teammate, now Derrick Rose, now is in Memphis. Yeah, he means so much to that Memphis team. Even in the playoffs, when he had that wrist injury against the Lakers, that affected them. That really, I'm not saying that, that cost them a series or anything by any means, but when someone like that, when he's not 100% healthy, that really does affect them more than anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, even take it a step further. Go back to when the Warriors won the championship. When he went down in that series in the Western Conference Finals between the Grizzlies and the Warriors. That was a big subtraction from Memphis that, damn, like, I don't even know how we're going to win this game anymore.
And it's like no disrespect to anyone else on that team, like Jaren Jackson, Defensive Player of the Year. Now you got guys like Mark. You have a ton of talent on that team, but like there's a drop off. There's a drop off from John Morant to your next best player.
I mean, if my next best player is Jaren Jackson and then Desmond Bane and Steven Adams, I look at that and I'm not bouncing off the walls for it.
Right.
But John Morant's there, and I saw what he did with that roster for the last 2 to 3 seasons. It's just been obviously bad luck with some injuries and off the course shenanigans, as we mentioned, the same type of stuff with Kyrie, just definitely worse in Josh's case. But
definitely,
he's getting the help he needs. He's 25 game suspension to start off the season. It's going to be pretty much like a handicap for the rest of the West, right? Like, we don't know how relevant the Grizzlies will be, but I firmly believe that once that kid is back, I like their chances. Their chances.
I do too. I think the rest of the Western Conference has to get ahead of the curve here. If they have 25 games without John Morant, they have to take advantage of it. Make sure to get a few games ahead of the Memphis Grizzlies before they get him back.
For sure. But, before we actually close out, I know we don't have this on the rundown, but how do you feel about Luka being at number 1? Just like in general, like
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it's like I made the argument of why I put Steph Curry at number 1, but it's really like a 1A, 1B type of thing. I mean, they're both great in different ways. Like Luka's like a triple double machine, borderline. Like he can give you 30, 10, and 10 every single night. Steph's the greatest shooter of all time. He can give you 40, 50 points every single night if he's catching fire. He's the greatest show in basketball. Like he's one of those guys where if like you see on Twitter like, oh, Steph Curry's hit 7 threes in the first half. He started the quarter with 3 threes. Like you're turning that game on because you're about to see a show. I mean, it makes sense. I get why Luka's number 1. He's so young, but I also think that it makes it more impressive. And I think from day one, from when he stepped foot in the league, like he played with professionals growing up. Like he was always like bound to be one of the best players in the league, and he's getting his flowers. So I don't have a problem with it. I just put Steph at number 1 because I see it more of like he has more of the background, the experience, and stuff.
The resume.
The resume. Exactly. But you can't go wrong with either.
I got you. That's all we got for topics today. Now it's time to have a little bit of fun here.
Let's do it.
We're gaming today. We're gaming. Everybody put their headset on, pick up your PS5 controller because we don't care about Xboxes.
Oh, come on now. As I'm looking at my Xbox right here. Come on. Hey, it's cross-play. We can all play together. Okay, so you have 3 games. I have 2. Let's start with you start. We'll give you your first game.
I let you off the hook at the last episode.
Oh, God damn it.
For your favorite edition of Courtside Hangman, baby.
Oh, my God. I know you've been excited for this all week.
I left the same word, and I have a new phrase for you, but this week is still the same phrase. I didn't leave the dashes for you, but in total, it is 9 letters.
Okay.
The first word has 4. And the other word, I lied to you. It's not 9 letters. 1, 2. It's 7 letters. The second word is 7. So 11 total letters. 11
okay.
total.
11 total letters. Set 4 the first word and 7 the last word. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. The first word The first letter, excuse me. I'm gonna take. I mean, I have to start with the easy ones. I gotta take. I gotta get an A from you.
No, there's actually not an A in
Are
this
you
at all.
fucking kidding me? Oh
There's
my
not an
God.
A in this at all. No.
How? There's 11 letters here. There's no A. Okay.
No A in any of the letters. So
Okay. Son of a
that
bitch.
is one strike.
Okay. All right. All right. The second one I'm gonna ask. Give me a T. There's got to be a. There's got to be a T in there.
Nah, I can't do that for you, man.
What are you doing to me? What kind of phrase is this? Oh my God.
A phrase with no T and no A.
What the fuck? Okay.
Yeah, it's all good.
This...
Try another common letter. I think you can get this.
All right, another common letter. All right. S.
S. Yes, there is one S. There is
beautiful.
one S.
Beautiful. Where is it?
At. There's one S right there at the end. I got you.
Okay. All right.
That wasn't a super common letter, but I mean, you got something. Like it's
all right. Another common one. Okay. Give me an I.
An I is a common letter to you?
There's only like 5 vowels. One of them has to be in there.
Nah, man, you gotta try again. No
Fuck's
I.
sake.
No.
Okay, I said A. All right.
You said
right.
A, I, and T were your first 3 letters. Maybe I can give you the A. I can give you the A for a common letter, but
right,
I.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna throw another vowel at you. If this vowel isn't in there, I'm giving up. I'm giving up on vowels. E.
Yes.
Okay.
There's a whole lot of E's, man.
Perfect.
So look, check this out. I'm gonna hook you up real quick.
Whole lot of E's. What the fuck are you doing to me here?
Boom.
I watch Wheel of Fortune almost every night too. Usually I'm good at these types of games. This is crazy.
Here you go, man. You're piecing it up. You're piecing it together now.
Okay. The next
you got 2 more strikes, so tread lightly.
2 more. Okay. Oh, the rest of them just came in. Holy shit. Okay. Wow, there is a lot of E's in the second word. Holy crap. Okay.
When I said common letter, I imagined you saying E first before you said I.
Well, you assumed wrong. Yeah, you don't watch Wheel of Fortune like I do. All right, the next letter I'm going to ask you for is a give me an N.
An N?
N, yes.
Yeah, you're doing good now.
Ooh,
now you
okay, all right. Here we go.
A little bit.
Here we go. I have to just have my back against the wall. That's all.
Look at you.
I need some pressure on me.
Forgot to spell momentarily. There we go.
It's all right. This isn't a spelling bee. All right, waiting for this to load in. Let's see. Oh, okay. Oh no. Okay. I think I know what the second word is. Give me a D. D as in Dante.
Now you're heating up, man.
And while you're at it, give me an F.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay. I know. All right. So something defense. What kind of defense? Oh, Jerry. I like Pat Sajak. I'd like to solve the puzzle.
Go for it, dude.
Can I get zone defense?
Yes!
Go, come on, baby. Come on
you
now.
You really did need your back up against the wall, man. Good for you. Zone defense.
I told you last week I'm going to be just studying this all week before I go to bed every night. I'm looking at the hangman like, what could it be?
Man, if you were really studying this, you wouldn't have threw out I and T at me. That was weird, but nah, you got the rest though. But good job, man. I got one more word for you before we move on to Dante's game.
Okay.
This one is not too crazy. It's not even just a basketball term, honestly. It is a general sports term. Let's say that.
All right. Okay.
So, 4-letter word for the first one.
Okay.
And the next one is 6-letter word.
4 and 6. Okay. All right. I want to start with the common ones here, okay?
Yeah,
But I think it's got to be a little different than the first one. I don't think we're be getting zone something here. There's got to be an A in this one, Jerry. There's got to be.
Yes, you do have an A in
Okay.
there.
I was going to say, you coming up with all these fucking crazy words. No A's in it. You kidding me?
Jerry dictionary.
The hardest one. Okay. We got an A in there.
It might be my last name for all you know.
I'm still, I still have trouble. Whenever I put out the tweets promoting the episodes, I always have to like double check how to spell your last name.
And that's okay, man.
No offense. No offense. It's not as easy as Dante Toro. It's just one of the easiest.
Honestly, the name Dante Toro just rolls off the tongue so easy, man. It's so easy to spell, bro.
That's right. All right. It begins with an A. What the fuck? Give me another S.
There is no S in this one.
No S. Okay. You say this is just like a basketball term, just like
it's a basketball term, but it's kind of a universal sports term. Low key, actually high key. It's very, very common.
Okay.
One strike.
Universal sports term begins with an A. Give me. It worked for me last time. Give me another E.
I can give you plenty of those.
Okay. I feel like you got to get the vowels out of the way earlier because I feel like that's just kind of what shapes the word, and then you can work around it. I'd be losing money right now if it was real Wheel of Fortune, but we don't have money on the line right now, so it's okay.
As far as you're concerned,
we got people watching that have money. Oh shit! Okay. Oh. Ooh. Okay. That's interesting. Give me an R.
I can give you an R.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Now you're heating up, man. I think you got it. I think you good, man. You straight.
Let's see where this pops up. Okay. Oh. Can I get an F?
There you go, man. You got the first word.
I know the first word. Free. A universal sports term.
Come on, man.
Free.
Let's not overthink this, okay?
I think I am overthinking this. Free. What was the one I didn't get? I gave you a letter that got a strike for. What was it?
You asked for a T.
T. Okay. Free. Oh, I'm kind of nervous. I think I am overthinking this. Give me an S.
I can't do that for you, boss man.
Free ape. Free age. Free age. I'm like really bugging out right now. What the fuck?
Oh man.
Free. Give me an L. Can you give me an L?
I can give you an L for being a loser.
Oh no! Oh no! What is going on here? I'm blowing it. How many strikes do I have left?
You only have 2 strikes, so 3 more. 3 more strikes. That's a fresh set of outs in baseball, baby.
Oh no! Universal sport. What the fuck?
Oh, you're gonna be so pissed.
It's going right over my head right now. LMNOP QR.
He's going through the alphabet. Oh my goodness! Holy shit, man! I got Dante thinking right now, man. This is the most work he's done since
Oh
undergrad,
my
baby.
god, I'm sweating. You see this right now? I'm sweating right now. Oh
That's why
my
you wear the
god.
cutoff today.
That's right. I knew I was going to be playing Hangman. I had to dress accordingly. Give me give me a fucking give me an M.
An M? Nah.
Oh, what the fuck, dude? Oh my god, I'm blowing this right
This
now.
ain't Mario, son. You got 2 more strikes, man.
I'm blowing this right now. No S, no T, no M. Oh. Is there another vowel thrown in there? Is there an I or a U in there?
Man, this is going crazy right now.
Oh,
I thought this
fuck.
would be so easy.
Free air. Fuck, dude.
Oh my God.
I'm so tight right now. Oh my god, I'm sweating. Oh my god, give me a. I'm gonna be mad. Give me a D.
No, I can't. Right
Am I
now,
out of
a D's what you got for your passing grade because you got 4 strikes.
Do I have one more strike?
You got 1 more strike, man.
Free. What's free? What is free? In all sports, a universal term. What is free? Free throws, fucking. Give me an H. I don't. I'm waving the white flag, Jerry. What the fuck is it?
Free agency. Free agency. Universal term. Everybody becomes a free agent at the end of the season if your contract expires.
A G, a C, and a Y. Oh my. Oh, such weird letter. Oh my god.
See, I thought you were going to guess agent. I'm like, he might go free agent instead of agency. So let me throw him off with agency. But
that's universal, all right. Yeah, that's universal. Everyone uses that. Fuck.
You got the first word, the first phrase.
I won 1 for 2. That's still 50% right there. I ain't passing with that. Damn it. Oh my god. All right.
What you got
now? All right. Well, I don't have anything. Yeah, I don't have anything like that. But I'm gonna give you something that you're gonna have to think a little bit. You're gonna have to test that knowledge. All right. The last few weeks I've gone a little easy on you. Not that this is going to be. I'm not asking you most points against, teammates, opponents, nothing like that. Jerry, I'm asking you who has scored the most career points. So I'm going to give you 2 players, 2 great scorers, all-time great scorers, and I need you to tell me who you believe has more career points. Just regular season, no playoffs, nothing like that.
You know, it's crazy. I had this written down, and I was like,
really?
I'll move it to next week. So it's funny you're doing this. Let's go.
All right, maybe we'll do a part 2 next week. You just can't use these players I have for you. All right, the first 2 players I have for you, Russell Westbrook or Allen Iverson.
Ooh, man, that's actually a good one.
I will say a lot of these players are pretty not super close, but they're not next to each other, but close on the all-time list. You know what I mean?
I got you.
They're not too far apart.
I think the obvious answer is AI, but I'm actually going to go with Russell Westbrook. I think that's too easy.
That is correct. Russell Westbrook has 24,457 career points. Allen Iverson has 24,368. So
Woo!
Westbrook only has just a little over 100 more points than AI. Yep.
Let's go.
All right, 1 for 1, Jerry. The next 2 players I have for you are Kyrie Irving or Kyle Lowry.
That's another trick question one. Kyrie has obviously missed a lot of time throughout his career, where 2 cans of bounce that ass with Kyle Lowry in the stick. So They've, obviously playing in Houston, playing in Memphis, and all those oddball locations. He was never really a big time scorer, but the consistency and longevity in playing in more games is there. Uh, I might be overthinking this one because Kyrie probably career points per game average is definitely higher than Lowry's though. Huh. See, this is another one. See, you're actually drawing on like my brain. It's like I know that Jerry knows his shit, so let me try to stretch him out a little bit and see if I can just punch him in the back or something.
Hey, that's right. I got to test your knowledge. I got to see what's going on up there.
Dang, this is tough. You know what? I'm gonna go with Kyrie. I'm gonna go with Kyrie over the consistency in games. I'm going Kyrie Irving.
You made me nervous because I thought you were going to get it right. It's actually Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry only has scored, though, 19 more career points than Kyrie Irving.
Wow.
That's it. Just 19. Yeah, 15,731 to 15,712. I'm sure Kyrie's going to pass that probably after the first game.
We don't even know if Kyle Lowry is going to be a starter this year. So.
He might not even start this year. So we don't even know what's next for Kyle Lowry. But, all right, next one I have for you. We have Isaiah Thomas on the Pistons, not the Celtics, the Pistons, OG Isaiah Thomas.
That's the first one I think of, baby, the only one now.
I will say when I put it into Google, Isaiah Thomas on the Celtics kept coming up. Even though I kept saying, like, Pistons, whatever, Celtics one kept coming up for whatever reason. So, Isaiah Thomas on the Pistons or Jason Terry. Two very different players, but two great scorers.
Isaiah Thomas also didn't play that long before he like shat on his ankle. So this is like another trick question one. That's where the Jet, 10 plus years, probably, give or take.
Has a leprechaun on his leg, Celtics legend.
Idiot.
Ain't that the truth?
Oh, man.
That leprechaun came right off after LeBron dunked on him. People say it's still implanted on the hardwood.
I wouldn't doubt it, man. Just, the white chalk outline of Jason Terry's body. Anyway, I'm, again, I don't think IT played long enough. It was just an injury-riddled thing where, we didn't have the modern-day sports medicine back in the 80s, or else the Bad Boys Pistons might have been able to extend their two-year run, man. But I'm going to give it to the Jet. I'm going to give it to Jason Terry on this one.
You are correct. Jason Terry has scored 18,881 points. Isaiah Thomas has scored 18,822 points. So I think that's, my math's correct, only 59 more points than Isaiah Thomas. So pretty close, though. Pretty close.
For sure.
I got one more for you, Jerry, all right?
All right.
Two all-time greats, two legends, two guys that people might consider top 10 players of all time. I have Larry Bird or Steph Curry.
What is this?
This is a tough one.
See, that's a weird one, though. That's even more weird than Jason Terry and IT. At least,
hey, this game isn't called Weird or Not. This is who scored the most points, Jerry. Two guys that have had injuries during their career, some early, some later, play different eras, different play styles, kind of. Two of the best shooters ever. One way before his time. It's a lot to think about.
And also the same thing that's been the problem, the reoccurring theme in your game so far has been injury-riddled Hall of Fame caliber players that haven't played as long as the role player.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty much with the Kyrie and Kyle one, it was obviously Lowry. With the Jet and IT, it was obviously the Jet. But guess what? You're not getting me. I'm going with Larry Bird. No, Seth hasn't started enough games for me to actually play enough minutes. I'm going to go with Larry Legend.
Final answer?
Final answer.
You are correct. Larry Bird,
baby. I know it,
baby. Larry Bird has scored more career points. Larry Bird has 21,791. Steph Curry has 21,712. So a little over a little less than 80 points, 79 points more. So Steph Curry will look to pass that this season, though. But as of right now, Larry Bird has scored more career points. Hey, you did pretty well. You went 3 for 4. That's pretty good, Jerry. That's pretty damn good.
Hey, C's get degrees, baby.
That's right. I can't compare to that, or I can't relate to that. But you're correct. C's get
me
degrees.
neither. But I'm just saying that's what the saying goes, baby.
All right, what do you got for me next?
Ooh, this one we're gonna take it easy, man. Hangman was a little rough. We're gonna take a step back, turn your brains off, and just go full blown preference.
Okay.
So, in honor of Noah Lyles' very controversial statement, we're playing which international player would you rather build your team around?
Okay.
So the first one is probably, I think, the hottest one on the list, with Nikola Jokic and Giannis Antetokounmpo.
So I think, obviously, Nikola Jokic is kind of like one of those like cheat code players. You can plug him on any team. He's going to make you better. You can build any team around him just because he can do anything. Give you 30 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. Probably would be the best facilitator on your team. Whereas Giannis is just a physical, dominant, just presence. Like he's the modern day Superman. Shaq gave him that nickname, Superman. You can't go wrong with either. Obviously, like you said, this is preference. I think I'd go with Jokic. Obviously, two-time MVP, NBA champion, Finals MVP. I just think it's easier to build a team around that. It's easier to just plug guys around Nikola Jokic and make it work. Not to say that you can't do the same thing with Giannis. You absolutely can. I think Giannis is a menace on both sides of the ball, and he's one of those players that has that, that mentality of just wanting to win. He's a true winner, and that's all he wants to do and make himself and his teammates better. But I do believe building a team around Jokic, I'd rather build a team around Jokic. Yeah.
Well, we're just going to chalk it up to the dad jokes being the deciding factor, despite that excellent soliloquy. Moving on.
All right, give me the next one.
Would you rather build your team around Joel Embiid or Luka Doncic?
Again, Luka's a guy again that's similar to Jokic, where he can give you an X amount of points, 30 plus points, grab you 10 boards, 10 assists, can be the best facilitator on your team. Joel Embiid can be the best player on both ends of the floor for your team as well. Obviously, we haven't seen him put up like numbers like 10 assists a game or anything like that. He can give you, he averaged 33 points a game. He can give you 33 and 10 at minimum, and then play both sides of the ball, give you 2 blocks a game. I think, obviously I think Luka, people might jump to Luka being the easy answer. I don't think this is an easy answer because I think Joel Embiid is a guy that you can absolutely make the same argument I just gave about Jokic to Joel Embiid. You got a guy that's dominant on both ends of the floor. Has proven that he can be the best player on a contending team. Obviously, they haven't made it to the finals or nothing like that, but what he brings to the table. That being said, though,
they've also had the same kind of playoff success if you really think about it.
That is true.
Luka made it to the Western Conference Finals that one year, though.
Right.
But still, though.
Yeah, I think Luka would be like the more obvious choice. Because, again, he can do more if you want offense and stuff. But I think I'm going to go Joel Embiid. Yeah, I'm going to change it up because I think I like Luka. I just gave him his praise and everything like that. The guy can't, unless he proves me wrong this year, the guy can't stay in front of his man on defense. He's a very one-dimensional player right now. And I think he needs to get more in shape. It's just true. He's not a two-way player. Joel Embiid is a two-way player. He's a proven MVP. I know what he's going to give me on a nightly basis. And I think I want a guy that's going to give me a guaranteed 30-10. And again, you put him in the right situation, he could give you 7 to 8 assists a game. We just haven't been able to see that from him because he plays with facilitators like James Harden and stuff. I'm going to go with Joel Embiid. I'm going to surprise some people. I'm going to go with Embiid.
I like it. Last one I have for you. SGA or Jamal Murray? 2 Canadian brothers. Who would you rather have? Obviously, Jamal Murray, NBA champion, finally healthy. was kind of shooting like Steph Curry in these past NBA finals, but SGA is
Yeah.
a two-way demon in his own right, just like we've been with the theme of these players. So
Yeah, I mean, I know SGA is the young bull here. I mean, he's what? I mean, he's only I think he's 25, so he's not like crazy young. Jamal Murray, what was he, the first NBA player to put up 10 assists in his first 4 games in the NBA Finals? He was shooting lights out, still being a great facilitator. Um,
Kentucky on Kentucky crime too. I just realized that.
Kentucky on Kentucky crime. At the end of the day, I'm going to pick the guy from Kentucky. I'm going to go SGA. I'm going SGA. I like his game more. You can't go wrong with Jamal Murray. You really can't. Again, like you saw what he did in the finals. The guy can light it up. He can facilitate. He can do this and that. You want Jokic on his team. He can give you 10 assists a game. But SGA, man, he's a bull on both sides of the ball. I wouldn't mind that guy leading my team. We saw what he did with the Thunder this last year, a team that had no business making as far as they did, losing their number 2 overall pick, having a team with an average age of like 23 years old. SGA he's a dog. I think he's going to be very good for a very long time on both sides of the ball. So I'm going to go SGA.
You know what? Let's have a bonus round here, just for the hell of it.
Let's do it.
What international player would you rather take between Luka and Nikola Jokic? That's what the matchup should have been in the first place. Silly me. Shits and giggles, baby. Shits and giggles.
I'm going Jokic. I'm going to go with Jokic. He's so good. He's so good. They're both generational talents at this point. But again, like I think Jokic isn't like an all world defender by any means or anything like that. But like when you have your center that can give you 10 plus assists a game, that can give you 10, 15 assists, this and that, shoot like he does, the high arcing threes and stuff like that. He's virtually like unguardable in that sense. I got to go with Jokic. I just think he is the easiest guy to build around the NBA, and it's hard to make an argument against him. So I'm going to go Jokic.
Fair enough. That's it for game numero tres.
Okay.
Let's go to cuatro. I speak Spanish now internationally. Let's go.
Look at us. We're bilingual on this podcast. People didn't know that about us. All right. This game I have, you have to think a little bit, but it's not like anything too crazy. Again, it's more of like a preference thing, okay?
Let's go.
Who are the best players to wear these jersey numbers? So I'm going to give you 3 jersey numbers worn by some all-time greats. I don't have exactly the list pulled in front of me of like who has worn these jerseys, but they're obvious numbers. Like you'll have players immediately pop into your mind. And you just have to tell me who do you think is the best player to wear that jersey, okay?
Yeah, this is going to be kind of tough. Let's get it.
The first number I have for you is number 3. And while you think, I'm going to pull up a list of the best players who are number 3 to kind of give you a little.
You know what?
This
is pretty easy for me. I don't even know if you need to pull up the list. I know that the cultural icon is in the corner. He's trying to peek in an AI, but I got to give it to my boy D Wade, man. I'm giving it to D Wade.
Okay. All right, there we go. I was going to say, I think the biggest ones there are D Wade and Allen Iverson. There's obviously a handful of other guys you can make an argument for, but yeah. I think those are the 2 big names. All right, now here we go, Jerry. I was excited for this one. The next number I have for you is the big 2-3, number 23, worn by two of the best players of all time. I think this is going to say a lot about you, Jerry. Who is the best player to wear number 23?
Can I give it to Draymond?
Hey, you can pick whoever you want. You can pick whoever the hell you want.
Oh, man. I mean, I guess this is just your way of like saying, like, hey, Jerry, who's your GOAT? Yeah. Well,
yeah,
good point, guys.
Yeah, basically.
Ladies and gentlemen, my GOAT is Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I got to give it to MJ, man. It's no knock to LeBron. You can ask me tomorrow. My answer might be different. But I do think that I just have to pay homage to the man who created and pretty much patented my favorite player's game, and Kobe being Bryant. So I got to give it to MJ, though, man. It's, 6 rings, 4 finals or 6 finals MVPs, whatever. Like it's
6-0.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
MJ's one of a kind, man. Hey, LeBron, about 4 and 10 in the finals, man, or 4 and 6, sorry, in the finals
Yeah.
in 10 appearances. 10 appearances is still great.
Yeah,
And for the
nothing wrong
sake
with
of my
that.
Lakers, I hope he makes it 11 and goes 5-7, like, or five
Yeah.
and six. I'll be
Yeah.
totally cool with that. But man, it's hard. It's hard for me because I love them both, but I just have more of a preference towards the killer mentality of MJ, and I think that trumps LeBron for me today. So I'm gonna go MJ.
Yep. Hey, that's gonna be a debate that'll go until the end of time. So yeah, either way, you can make a fair argument. The last one, I only have three for you. The last one I have for you is number 34, which has been worn by all-time greats like Shaq, Hakeem, even now guys like Giannis, Charles Barkley of the past. Mr. Shit himself, Paul Pierce, has worn number 34
Come
as
on,
well.
dude.
Listen, it's just the truth. Before you give your answer, I just want to. I love Paul Pierce. He's a Celtics legend. Don't get me wrong. But how can you come out on TV and say that you pooped yourself, and then afterwards be like, "Oh no, what, you think I actually pooped myself? It was my knee. You think I actually did that, bro? You're the one that said it. No one ever made an. No one ever. There was no conspiracy theory or anything. You just straight up said that you pooped yourself, bro. Own up to it. It's okay. Accidents happen. You get a little runs during the finals. You're nervous. It's okay." But number 34.
We took a little portal potty break right there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we did.
Dang, man, that is a little tough. Damn. I think I got to give it to Shaq though. I think even though Hakeem kind of sunned him in those first two NBA finals, that was number 32 Shaq in Orlando. That wasn't quite right. 34 yet. So
that's right. Yeah.
34 Shaq, LA Shaq is probably the most unstoppable force that we've ever seen because I don't really believe that Will Chamberlain existed to some degree. So
I think I agree with you on that one.
I'm gonna give it to the big Aristotle, man. I'm gonna give it to Shaquille O'Neal right there.
All right. There we go. Jerry, you got one more game for me?
Yeah, man, it was just kind of hard though with the 23. I already know people going to try to kill me, but you know what? I don't think there's a wrong answer. All of this shit is subjective anyway.
It's all subjective.
All these little 16, 17-year-olds, they don't even know how good LeBron really was, but
there's going to be a new 23 that rolls around in 10, 15 years. People are going to say he's going to be the greatest 23. God knows. And it's always changing, bro. It's always changing.
LeBron Jordan. Yeah.
That's right. Yep.
The last game that I have for you is, a little different. I think we kind of weaned off it just because we haven't experienced it yet, but it's about the NBA playoffs, more specifically in the 2020s. So, who scored the most playoff points in the 2020s? I want you to give me the top 4 guys that I have in front of me. Obviously, before you even get started, you need to think about there's only been 4 playoff runs technically in the 2020s.
Yeah.
Also, you need to think about the amount of teams that have taken place in it, how many times they had their postseason appearances.
They have the play-in. Play-in doesn't actually count towards playoff points, I don't think, actually. I don't think the NBA credits it.
The top 4 in front, actually, I can't even give you that. Never mind.
All right. No, it's
fine. You can just go ahead and go. You can go ahead and give me the top.
All right. Actually, the first player that comes to my mind is Jason Tatum because he's made it to the Eastern Conference Finals in each year of the 2020s.
Well, I regret to inform you. I'm just kidding. You are correct.
Oh
Jason
my God!
I was number 1.
I was gonna say there's no way he's made it all the way to the Eastern Conference. He's got to be on there. Okay.
Jason Tatum is 1 with 1748.
Okay, it's a lot. It's a lot of points. I'm thinking because I'm thinking guys like big names like Giannis and stuff, but then they had those first round exits. They didn't make it to the finals, but then he made it to the finals, then the second round, and then they got first round exit. Then you got obviously the Heat. I think I gotta throw Jimmy Butler's name in there, right?
Well, you're just rolling down the list right now, but you got number 2.
Okay. I feel like those are pretty obvious ones. I just mentioned the last 4 Eastern Conference Finals, he has been in 3 of them.
Jimmy Butler is number 2 with 1583, so almost
Okay.
200 points behind Tatum, about 150 give or take. So
Okay.
you're rolling right now, man. You haven't need to like expend any of your guesses quite yet, so you're rolling.
Okay. Now I gotta think I'm thinking more of the East. I think of West. Okay. Like LeBron. LeBron could be on there, but they had the finals run, the Western Conference Finals. Not Giannis. I don't think anyone like Jokic is on there. Ooh, I'm not saying him, but like someone like Jamal Murray, because he went off in the bubble, and then he had a lot of points in the bubble, but he got hurt, so I think I gotta take him off. KD, yeah, no, he didn't really make it too far. Second round, first round, yeah, I don't think it could be KD. Give me. Oh, this is tough.
To hear your thought process on this is so cool, so interesting, man.
Yeah, I don't know if you're saying. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Hey, take it however you want. I believe that you will get the name that's number 3, but I fear for you for number 4. That's how I feel right
Because I'm trying to like big name like Embiid, but he hasn't made it past the second round, so it's like that's another tough one. Because you have to think of guys that made it far, but at the same time in the East, like I think I'm too caught up in the East. I think give me. I don't think he's going to be on it. Give him for the sake of it. Give me LeBron. I don't think he's on it though.
No, LeBron is number 7 on this.
Oh, okay.
So that's your first one that's incorrect there.
Okay. All right, let me think. Definitely no one on the Clippers. Maybe Donovan Mitchell, maybe him and Jamal Murray. Ooh, Donovan Mitchell might not be terrible because the Utah Jazz had a few. They were a good regular season team, though. They never made it far in the playoffs. Him and Jamal Murray went crazy in the 2020 playoffs, though. Who else is? I'm trying to think of the West is something. I'm trying to think of the teams that made it far. The Suns. Well, I mean, they haven't made it that far. Though. I'm thinking like D Book, but for my next guess, I'm going to pick. I'm going to say Kevin Durant.
Whew. Nah, that one's actually very far left. Like KD,
yeah.
I
think I missed
dismantled them
in the first. Yeah, I know. I think I was forgetting a few of those years. Yeah,
and I don't even know if the Nets, the recent postseason, obviously the
second round, I think is the furthest they made against the Bucks.
Yeah, when KD should have wore a size 12 instead of a 24.
Yeah, should have wore a size down that game. Okay, how many strikes you give me? How many more strikes do I got?
I'll give you 2 more, so halfway through.
All right, I feel like I mentioned this. I feel like I mentioned someone that's on this list. I feel like I brought him up. I'm caught up in like Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell. I don't think the Jazz have made it like super far in the playoffs, so that's where I'm trying to. My memory is all foggy right now. There are a few like lost years.
I would tell you that you did mention one of these players.
Yeah, okay.
But I think you will backtrack and circle back to him. But number 4 on the list, I just think you completely glossed over. Those are the hints I would give you.
Okay, so I mentioned number 3. I mentioned
number 3 a few times now.
Oh, fuck me. Okay. Son of a bitch. I can't. No, because he was hurt. He missed a year. There's no way it was him. Is it? Oh. No, they lost in the first round this year. Is it? No. You fuck. You're an asshole. Oh my god.
I will say this too. Again, you need to think. I'm not going to tell you whether it's an East or Western Conference guy, but
Mhm.
you need to think about consistency. Despite not getting past the second round or into the conference finals or the NBA finals, this guy that is seated at number 3 has been to the playoffs every single year, actually since 2020. I think even dating back to 2018 is when he made his consistent postseason mainstay, where you know he's going to get his team there and they're going to be great.
Yeah.
When everything on the team is able to, is what I would tell you.
Okay, I mentioned him because that's making my head, that's making the wheels spinning. Is Joel Embiid on that list?
Is that your guess?
Yes.
No.
Oh fuck! Oh my god! Oh shit! Is he even on the list? Is he even like close to being top 4?
Let's see. Let me pull this back.
Because they make it to the playoffs, but like they've had first round, second round exits.
Joel Embiid's actually 16th on this list. You took
Oh my
that
god!
method.
Shit!
Yeah. You took that method the wrong way. That wasn't.
Yeah, I did take it. Yeah, I went down a completely different. I had a fork in the road, and I went down. I went the wrong way. Okay.
One more guess.
One more guess. I mean, the two names that are sticking in my mind right now. I got Devin Booker and I got Donovan Mitchell. Those are the two guys I have in my head right now. Donovan Mitchell has made it to the playoffs every single year. And he had that crazy 2020. I'm gonna go Donovan Mitchell. I can't erase this. I can't erase that name from my mind.
I didn't hear you.
Fuck me.
I did not hear you. I give you a bonus try because Donovan Mitchell, let's see, is 18th. He's 2 spots behind.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
2 spots behind. You are trending in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I don't feel good about this one. Okay.
Right.
Oh, okay. You know. I'm gonna. Well, Giannis.
He said it so confidently.
It's
not Giannis either, man.
fuck. Who is it? Who?
I would say that Giannis is number 5, and he's actually, if my math is correct, is 53 points
shit.
behind the number 4 guy that I figured that you would gloss over in Jaylen Brown.
Oh, no way. Oh, he didn't. Well, obviously, when I said Tatum, I briefly thought maybe Brown's in there, but I didn't think it was that much. Wow.
Yep. 1377 is what Jaylen Brown had. Yep.
Oh, damn.
And
I'm pissed I didn't get that one. All right, what's number 3?
I figured you would forget about Jaylen Brown, though. You just said Tatum, and it was just so easy. It was like, oh, Jason Tatum for sure. But number 3, again, you mentioned his name a few times, like, oh, well, he does carry his team, but I don't know if he was putting up points. Nikola Jokic.
Really?
If you think about it, he literally probably put up 500 of his 17 points. If 1,517 points in the postseason in the 2020s. He probably put up 500 or 600 of those this past postseason run alone. So, yeah, like, you bounce around.
I was thinking too, like, I was thinking of, like, more pure scores, like the Books, the Mitchells, even the Jamal Murray. Like, I was too caught up in those guys.
I would say, like, because you got to think, Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets made it to the Western Conference Finals in the bubble as well.
They did, right?
It's just like something that we forget about because in the bubble you probably instantly think
that's what I'm saying. I was forgetting of those years. I forgot they made it that far in the 2020s. Like the 2020, 2021, it's just so weird. Like those are such weird.
Even last year, like when they played the Warriors in I think the first or second round, they couldn't stop Jokic. He was averaging 30 plus. It's just
that sucked. I'm honestly more pissed I didn't get Brown, to be honest with you, because I did gloss over him. I, for a brief second, thought of him, but I was like, I didn't even, like, consider it. I just, like, pushed it off.
I will say, though, you were on the right track with Book is number 6, LeBron is 7, Murray's actually is 10th on this
And the
list.
guesses I gave you were like 16, 18.
But no, man,
That's all right. That's a good one. That was tough.
you did your thing, though. You got 2 of them. I give you maybe props for that. Like, hey, that's 50%.
I got 1 and 2. So, it's all right. Well, I think that's it. That's it for today, Jerry. Do you have anything else you want to add in before we sign off here? Do you have a phone call to take? We got fans calling. Right. We have our voicemail. What's going on?
Well, we're not quite live like Stephen A. Smith quite yet.
Not yet.
But the only thing I think I have to say before we part out of here, just make sure you're tuning into the FIBA World Cup. There's a lot of great things going on for some of the international players that we know and love today, like SGA, who we talked about today. Josh Giddey's putting up a lot of good numbers for Australia and stuff. So FIBA World Cup is heating up, man. So that's all. Of course, I got to get my daily football fix plug in because I can't wait till we actually talk about a football topic on here. Sitting courtside, but we're going to be sitting on the field for a little bit, depending on what comes up. So.
Yes, sir. Hey, I got my fantasy drafts this weekend, so we'll be we'll have some chat. We'll chat about that next episode. All right, we'll go over our teams and see what we're rocking with.
I'm looking forward to it, man. Let's get it. But no, do you have anything else? Or are you good?
I think all I can say is make sure to check us out on our personal socials. Dante on deck, Jerry. It's it's on the screen. Follow us there. Follow us on social media, Twitter. Just made Instagram. Check us out on Instagram, TikTok. Obviously, subscribe. Listen to this in podcast form wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Music, Spotify, wherever it may be. Check us out there, and we'll see you for episode 7. So until next time, peace out, guys.